But joining me right now is head men's basketball coach Andy Helton. Coach Helton, welcome to Sports Look.
Welcome, King. It's good to be here.
Coach, it's been a while since I've seen you. I know we've had about 11 games go into the season, and we've started our Lone Star Conference South. And, well, I guess, long story short, how's it going?
Well, I think that once we've come off the break after a disappointing pre-Christmas break, we've played really good basketball since Christmas. I think we're 5-3 since Christmas, 3-3 in the South. Big wins over West Texas and at Abilene. Hopefully we'll get it going here at home and be able to make a run at it.
Well, you know, like I've always said, whether we're playing jacks or shoots and ladders, whatever it is against West Texas, it's good to get a win. And that's a great one to get in West Texas. It's been a few years since we've gotten one. Yeah. Coach, you know, before we get back to basketball, I do want to commend you. Of course, I get to see all the grades and stuff, but we had the academic honor roll come out, and you had several young men on that.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't realize how tough it is to not only get wins on the court, but be able to keep those kids on the court by doing the proper things academically. And, you know, I want to commend you, and of course Kavika, who does a great job as your GA doing all that, and of course all your coaching staff. And you know, how's that been for you as far as that end of it's been?
Yeah, and to be honest with you, the assistants kind of watch, make sure our guys sign in every morning and get to their classes, and they, you know, between Kavika and Stott and Tyran, they do a really good job with that. And we're real happy. We had 5 guys that were on the academic honor roll, and good young men, and just real proud of them and happy about it. And you know, I mean, just bluntly speaking, everybody, you know, it was eligible at the break, and you know, people are on good progress towards their degree, and just that's hugely important for us. And you know, now we're back in the semester, and you always worry a little bit about guys, you know, in the heat of the season right now, just getting off to a good start in our classes. So hopefully we'll get a good start here second semester.
Right. Well, you know, that brings me to another question. How do you balance that for your kids? You know, what obviously you get paid, I mean, for lack of a better term, you get paid to win or lose basketball games. How do you balance that with your kids to not make the number one priority to win games, which obviously is what you're here for, but at the same time to help those kids get a degree?
Well, I think, you know, I think it's a dual function, you know, with players. And, you know, we tell guys that when they're doing their academics or they're in classes, they're students. They're not basketball players. They are expected to get to class and get things done. We do a lot of study halls, you know, team study halls. We will, again, they have to sign in prior to their first class, which really doesn't affect the basketball part of it. It's just discipline.
Right.
And
which in itself, I guess, kind of affects it.
A little bit, you know. But the thing is, I think, you know, people say that this is to me the toughest time of the year is November when you're playing, and December when finals hit and you're playing. And you know, I sometimes wish basketball was like some other sports and it was a one-semester sport. I think the tough thing about basketball, it's a 2-semester sport. Like this time, there's a lot going on right now, but the one thing is still the classes sometimes are kind of not right into finals and right into lots of assignments and papers and such, so it's maybe a little easier than November and December.
Okay. Well, Coach, to switch back gears to basketball, which, you know, being, other than the weather blowing you out on Wednesday, we would have seen the whole South at least once.
Right.
So being that you've seen everybody else once, you know, what kind of league do we look down the barrel of in order to get to Bartlesville come the beginning of March?
It's a Division I league with a Division II label. It's what it is. I mean,
I believe you.
That's it. I mean, it's a very, very good league. I really thought that the league would have a hard time being better than it was a year ago, but when they added Incarnate Word, who's very good, very well coached, and with some of the guys coming back and the coaching, I think it's a little better than it was a year ago.
Right.
And, you know, you look at the South versus the North, and the South was 38-20 in crossover games. And that's with us not playing very well early. And we're playing much, much better now. But, I mean, that's a huge advantage.
Right.
And, I mean, Central Oklahoma is tremendous on the other side. Commerce is good, and Coach Gibson does a great job at Northeastern State. But the South part of the league is just very, very good. There's no nights off. You know, you look at Abilene Christian, who we beat down there. I mean, Abilene Christian is talented at every position, and yet they're having a hard time winning a game in the South.
Right. Well, you know, if I told you, let's say November 1st of this last year, Coach, after the first 6 games in the South, you'll be 3-3, would you have taken that with what you've got left on the schedule, or are you a little disappointed in where you are at 3-3?
We are disappointed with the Angelo State game. That's the game we'd like to have back.
Right.
We had an opportunity being up 5 with 4 minutes. You have to win that game.
Right.
Very pleased on the road. To be 2-1 with our 3 road games, I'm pleased with that. And Tarleton was a very difficult game for us because Tarleton, some of the matchups are hard. Coach Reisman's a great coach, and we were missing Gerald and Aaron, so we're missing 2 of our top 7 or 8 guys.
Right.
And we would have had to play terrific to win the game. I really believe that. And but we could have. But the Angelo State game is the one that I kind of regret and would like to have the last couple minutes back. And like to do some things different. I think players and coaches.
And those are always heartbreakers, of course, when you lose within the last 3 or 4 seconds.
Right.
But I guess on the flip side, you're within the game with the last 3 or 4 seconds. It's not a done deal with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, it wasn't a terribly played game by us.
Right.
And Angelo's done really good, but I just wish we would have finished it better. And I'd love to be sitting 4-2, but at the same time, we're right in the thick of everything, and the program's definitely made big strides, I think.
Well, how do we get to Bartlesville with 8 games left on the schedule?
Win as many of the 8 as we possibly can.
That goes without saying.
I mean, ultimately, it's on us. I mean, we're in a position where it's on us. I mean, we can do it. We've got to play well, and we've got to win.
You got 2 of the
we can't
tougher
have off
teams.
games.
You have 2 of the tougher teams coming here in Midwestern and West Texas. We go back to Tarleton, which.
Oh, you know what? You start naming them, and
daunting.
there's no down teams.
Yeah.
And people would speak the same about us, somebody else in the league. I mean, it's really, really a good league.
Well, Coach, I don't envy you on that end of it, but at the same time, I respect the job that you've done so far in almost your second complete season.